in the supermarket, yeah, now I really pay attention on the price. Before I was like more chilled, and now I'm more careful, and I can see that now it's the price are rising, but I'm like, okay, I still can buy food. I still can have a roof above my head, so I'm okay. But yeah, it's strange. Plus the mountain story I told you about. Very challenging. It's a very challenging year. It's a Sagittarius year, so it's the same sign as my uh, mission, dharma. Opposite of karma, dharma. So it's like, an important year and related to career, to faith as well. It's an opportunity to heal some old habits, some pains. Yeah, to focus on my direction, my values, etc., etc. I like it for now.
I like it. Interesting. And
Mm.
I forgot what I was about to ask you. Sorry.
That's okay.
um, no, yeah, now I remember. It's another thing that I would like to talk through. When you look to astrology from from an outside perspective, so something that it's far from you, it's not really a part of your life, or it's easy to think that it comes down to your star sign, and it's like, well, I'm Leo, then I'm Leo, fuck it.
Mm.
But it's not like that, isn't it? Like it's not like you have like all the signs, if I'm not wrong, represent different energies and like different things in the universe, and we all have them all within us. Like you said, like this is a year of Sagittarius for you, um. So it's not like you're like married with one. Like you were born under one sign, but you're constantly interacting with all the energies that the other signs
Mm.
represent. Like
Mm.
you said before, this if this is a year of Cancer, then you have to more emotions. That because it's in you as well. It's not just your dominant uh,
No. Well,
thing.
you can have some dominant sign in your birth map, but we all have the 12 signs inside of us, but some are more present or visible on the exterior, and some are more in the interior.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's so diverse and so complex because the planets, they can be on 12 different sides in 12 different houses, and there is also like the connections between the planets that are saying stuff about you as well. Like, is your sign is opposite to your moon, it says something about you. Or is your sun is, I don't know, 3 signs away from your moon, it will say also a thing. And or if there is a conjunction between the 2 signs, it's very complex because there is the positions and the connections. So yeah, but sometimes people are very Scorpio, and so they are very, like interrogative. They are very. I really like the Scorpio signs. I think this is one of my favorite because they are always investigating, want to understand, wanted to see like the shadow of the situation. Like for the Scorpio, hmm, they go uh, through they're not only seeing the visible things, they are interested of what's behind what is visible. They are very curious. And yeah, actually, Leo doesn't like Scorpio. And before, it was a difficult signs for me because Scorpio was always like ticking me, like tick tick, and it's very difficult for Sun in Leo. But now that I got the energy of the sign, I really like it. Like I love it because I learned to love all the signs actually because every sign is magnificent and unique. So yeah, that's very complex. So that's what I should have told you when I show your map. Like, hey, this is you. Like, but you're still very complex. I swear.
And uh, this it's really interesting to me. Would you like to share just a really quick, reductive impression from your perspective about each one of the star signs? I think there's a lot of room for comedy in there.
Yeah. Okay. So the first sign of the zodiac is Aries. So it starts with 21 March 21, so the beginning of the spring. So this is a fire sign, and it's very impulsive, very um, autonomous sign. They really like to start projects and to be like to put very strong fire energy to do it. Like they go through it without asking any questions. And yeah, and they're starting stuff and they are very intuitive as well. And then you have Taurus. It's slower. It's like, okay, before after the crazy energy of the Aries, the Taurus is like, okay, let's slow down. This is a earth energy. And the Taurus really like to have a nice environment, like flowers, like the nature, like the good food, the a good materials, and it's like okay, they really are sensual signs of the Taurus. Like this is the most sensual sign of the of the zodiac, and they really like to in the highest level of the Taurus is like spiritualizing the materials, for example, by building a heart, yeah, building, making heart, for example. And then you have after that you have Gemini. The Gemini is very curious, very talkative, making connection with people and with ideas. It's hair sign, so it's a bit manta, but they are making lines. They are very curious about learning more stuff, talking to people. Sometimes they can be a bit superficial because they really like to meet people, and there is a lot of people, so they want to talk to everybody in the party, Gemini, but they won't have one deep conversation, for example. Um, and then you have Cancer. Cancer is a water sign, so this is very emotional. It's all about the kind of water of Cancer is like the mother water in the uterus, when you're born, when you're not born, before that, when you are in utero. And yeah, it's very emotional, very it's a mother energy, you know mainly they really like to take care of people, but it's very natural for them, and they're really emotional, like, and sensitive, and sometimes they can be a bit um like disturbed, like, yeah, um what is it? I don't remember in English. They can be not vulnerable. They are vulnerable, but mm, yeah, yeah, they can be. You will get it that little moment because I have to check the world. You know when someone is giving you a critique and then you
Uh-huh. Ah, like sensitive, like
yeah, like, but in
you
a
would let
bad
it
way,
sink.
like yeah. um
Yeah, yeah, like sensitive in a way that you take
Take things personally, like
aha.
but there is a specific word. I think I don't even remember in French. Well, that's okay. um that's okay. Now I wanted to see it. I wanted to remember. Anyway, and then you have Leo. So Leo is very charismatic. They really like to be handsome. They really like to be visible, but they are very generous as well. They are very loyal. If you are bothering some of the Leo friends, the Leo will attack and protect his friends and his family, and he's very courageous as well. And the main purpose of Leo is to learn who he is actually. Who am I? The Leo is the ego, the sign of the ego. But you have the bad ego and the good ego. So the work of the Leo is to not always thinking about his image, but just learn to be authentic. And then you had Virgo. So Virgo is maybe the sign with the less ego, because the Virgo is really like to be on service of other people. She's very there is a lot of devotion with the Virgo, um, and it's actually the symbol is the Virgin Mary. So it's like how to be hmm, how to be enough pure to invite the divine energy. But the Virgo does it with process and I don't know, cleaning the house. And mainly we said that the Virgo is maniac, but it's just that she's very precise, very op- she's optimizing everything so we can focus on the most important things. I really like that sign as well. Uh, and then after Virgo, you have, I think it's balance in English, I think.
Mm,
So this is it's a different sign as well. It's more like balance are very about harmony between people. They really like harmony. It's a pretty seductive sign, such as the Leo, but more in a they will give you some compliments. They will say, "Oh, you look very nice." This is the way they seduce people. Whereas the Leo likes to be handsome. Well, balance will give you some compliments. So they are very, in general, with people with main balance in their map. It's really nice to be with them because yeah, it's easy. It's fluid. They don't really like conflict, so sometimes it's hard for them to make some decisions. But yeah, they're just like, okay, yeah, let's find a compromise. Let's yeah, working well together. So this is a nice sign as well. And then you have Scorpio. So I told you a bit about Scorpio. Scorpio is like, okay, let's investigate. Let's see what the system is doing wrong. Um, let's denounce all the things that's not working anymore. Let's see behind the appearances. So Scorpio really like unconscious stuff because it's not visible. They really like it. And they are not the kind of style that will make compliments. They were more like tick. asking tricky questions, like, yeah, they want to test you. And this is why Scorpio is mainly difficult for other signs, because it's really like tick tick. Is this is a very nice sign, but yeah, sometimes it's not easy for others to, yeah, to accept the Scorpio. Um, and then after the Scorpio, you have Sagittarius. So this is an idealistic sign. They really like to, yeah, see big. They really like to be interested with spirituality, religion. They really like politics, philosophy. It's like, yeah, they are very optimistic signs. Sometimes a bit too much, and sometimes the dark side of the Sagittarius is like, yeah, I know everything. I am the knowledge of the zodiac, and like they are a bit, mm, snob.
Snob.
uh, yeah. And then you have the Capricorn. So the Capricorn will say, okay, calm down, Sagittarius. Let's be realistic. Let's make some efforts in the long term. Let's build. Let's respect the law. Yeah, the Capricorn, they really are ambition. They really have ambition. But they are doing it, and they know that we have to make some efforts to rise up the mountain. And they have really strong. They are really, really reliable, and they are really strong work capacity. And then you have Aquarius. So Aquarius is like the rebel of the zodiac. He really likes new things, like taking a new path. Um, this is really like uh, a brotherhood sign, you know. For them, it's really important to work for a cause, for human cause, human what's the word, volunteering work is really important for them. But with the idea of we should work together to improve the society in a good way. But in a bad way, sometimes Aquarius are a bit more like two rebels, too different. They really like they're being that different that they just finish alone and angry against the society, and nothing is changing. So they should focus more on the brotherhood, on the connection between humans. And then to finish, you have Pisces. I really love Pisces. It's like it's a very, very complex signs. This is the last of the zodiac, and they are very emotional as well, but not like Cancer. It's more like they are feeling connected to every human. You know, they can feel the pain. This is the sign of the medium. Pisces people, they are very medium. They are very, they feel what you're feeling. They can connect to you. Sometimes they see invisible things. They hear things. Um, and they are, really focused on, connection between human and with this is a very spiritual sign. This is actually, Pisces used to be the Jesus symbol, before the cross. It used to be Pisces. And in a bad way, Pisces can be too fusional with people, like they are more too fusional and so confusional, like I don't remember, I don't even know if the pain is from the other or is it my pain. So I feel I feel people also. I don't feel myself anymore because this is too much. I cannot see the limits. And also, they can like be in some kind of a, yeah, of running away from reality, you know. For example, uh, alcoholism is a Pisces disease, you know, because you wanted to unlock your conscious and be in, yeah, in so somewhere else. This is a risk of Pisces,
Yeah,
and that's it.
they swing.
Whew.
They swing. Wow, that that's a lot. And then I was thinking, wow, in a certain degree, in certain areas, we'll have all this inside of us.
Totally.
Yeah, it's just you just change like the levels and the moments, but all of that is happening in the human experience,
Mm. Yeah, totally.
which is crazy, right?
Yeah, which is crazy and great.
um, Let me check. Is like regarding astrology that we said we were going to focus on that on this session, but is there something else that you want to add? Something that we're missing out?
Mm,
Some interesting thing.
yeah, there is an interesting thing to know about astrology. I mean, one of the tool you can have. It's about, well, you can learn about yourself, you can learn about the energy of your year, but you can also learn about the relationship you can have. So, not necessarily for a couple, but for example, for a friend. You can compare two birth map and see what's going on when the two people are meeting. What are the so that you can calculate online and then make it interpretate. You can, yeah, see the map of the relationship between two people, and yeah, what's going on when they meet. What are the difficulties of the relationship? What are the challenge? What's easy in the relationship? What's not? And what is the direction of the relationship? So this is crazy. Like,
That's a huge thing. Like,
yeah, that's a huge thing. That's actually a huge thing. And I know like one of my friends is trying right now, so I will ask them in a few months, is trying right now to do this, but for a group of people. And I know it's possible, but it's this is huge.
hmm,
You have to take all the, I don't know, 10% map and make one map and then see each individual map with a relationship map, what's going on between. Yeah, this is a huge work, but it's possible.
and
And
and opens a lot of doors, isn't it?
yeah,
Like if you know that, then you can decide that will affect your this if once you know that that will affect your decision on some professional things, or if you're like putting
yeah,
together a team,
exactly,
finding a couple, of
exactly.
course, like building your own couple. Yeah, that changes things, changes like
Yeah,
your human
exactly.
interactions.
A woman I met in during my training, when I learned, she came with a birth map and the birth map of her future business partner, and she wanted to be sure that it will work. So they work on it, and they say, okay, what's going on when they meet? What is the sense of the relationship? Could it work? Who is responsible of what in the relationship? For instance, maybe she was more responsible of the communication and the communication at the exterior and the interior, and who is more responsible about um, working or on specific stuff like accounting or yeah. So yeah, who is what in the relationship? So yeah, that's very interesting. And even for couples, so you can
Yeah.
analyze business relationships, friendships, but yeah, couples. And astrology won't say, okay, you should split up, guys. I think this is like bad for you.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna work, guys.
Yeah. But you can say that for some relationships, the challenges are higher, so the couple can reinvent itself. And for other couples, it's that easy and that fluid that sometimes there is no challenge. So the couple cannot renew, and but that's okay. But yeah, you can see that when you going the um, in French it's synastry. So I guess synastry it's an English word, but that's also crazy stuff. Another mystery of astrology. I like it.
And well, I don't know what you think, but uh, I'm perceiving that all of this knowledge, the astrology included, but not only, like a lot of things that um, modern society has been like, just not taking account, are now coming up and reintegrating into society. So that makes me think uh, society is going to evolve. Society is already evolving, and I always wonder, like, how is it going to be like in 20, 30, 50 years when all of these things that now are sounds like a little bit more new age, or yeah, those guys with this and so, but it's planets, it's stars, like it's matter, it's out there, like it's a physical thing, like it's real. It impacts reality, and in the way that this and other disciplines and other branches of study start integrating to our society necessarily is gonna evolve. So I picture sometimes when you were telling your story about this lady, I was thinking, how is it gonna be like a human resources department in a company in 50 years when this stopped being some and just a thing that people accept and go like, okay, like this is humans, this is how we work, so let's start trying to avoid it or ignore it. I think it's just like a superstition, just integrating it and working with it. How is like a huge corporation going to look like? It's going to be interesting, I think.
Yeah,
Like,
it's gonna
even
be
from
yeah.
even from a business
So
perception or from a really
yeah,
materialistic way, is like, okay, so I can do my company work better, just like pointing paying attention to this. I can save money, time, effort,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
discussions.
yeah. Actually, I've never seen it that way for like business and stuff, but yeah, totally. So now a manager can create his own team according to the astrology map and how it's working together. So it will be more efficient, and he will earn more money, and he will know that it's not a good idea to sign a contract in February 2054. Uh, but he has to wait a couple of months and some events will came up. Yeah,
which which makes sense. Like here in Mexico, uh, we know that all of ancestors use this knowledge. Like Mayans were really good astrologists, Aztecs were as well, and it's present in
mm,
all the continents, from North America to South America. So it was a thing back in the day. So
mm,
emperors, really powerful people back in the politicians, were
yeah,
were using this openly, and they had like, these huge buildings in the middle of the town, like like to observe stars, because they acknowledge that the impact that
yeah,
they have is is a huge thing just to miss out. They were making decisions according to this. And that was
yeah,
back in the day. uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's crazy.
yeah,
And astrology is new age for people. Uh, come on, it's so old. This
It's
is
really
like,
old.
yeah, this is the oldest science ever. Like, yeah, humanity is observing the sky since its creation. So, yeah. But
Well,
now, thanks to the computer, we can just click and have a map. Before, they should like calculate everything and drawing by hand,
yeah,
which I think was so nice, but yeah, really time consuming. But that's okay. It was a different time, man.
like today, we regular humans have advantages that Aztec emperors didn't have. Like they had a team of guys looking at the sky, uh, no super highly telescopes, just they're writing in this really thick paper. They didn't have WhatsApp. They couldn't just like call your guy and ask him. We all have those tools today to make our decisions and to integrate it to our life. So the window of possibilities that opens, and we have that, and we also have things like Amazon that can deliver you whatever to the to your house in one day. That makes me optimistic about the future. I know it sounds weird. I know a lot of people just
No,
not
no,
optimistic
no.
in this moment, but honestly, I think I feel optimistic. It's like we're in a really good place.
I really like your point of view. And no, really like, because yeah, climate change is awful. Some values of the society are awful, but a lot of people really are more and more interesting about, yeah, consciousness and that kind of stuff we talk about. Like, how can we uh, make society grow with our knowledge? And sometimes I told myself that maybe we should go really, really, really down in a society to find the light after that, you know. I go to from an extreme to another, and then we will, yeah, never make the mistake we are making right now ever again. I hope so. But yeah, I mean, this is what I tell myself when I'm depressed about what's happening in the world. Like, okay, maybe this is a necessary step, you know, but still.
But now that you mention it, now that it's out there, what's your perspective on the current situation of humanity as
Oh my God.
like from your place? Because yeah, well, you're in the other side of the world right now, so I'm really intrigued. Like how does things look from over there, from your perspective?
Hmm. Well, actually, since I'm interested about spirituality, psychology, consciousness, etc., I feel like having some distance with the normal world, like people that have a regular job, with a regular life. But some of these people, and yes, some of these people came to ask for help. Uh, and I just feel like more and more people wanted to learn about themselves, to be more happy and have an appeal to more consciousness and more humanity and more sense in their life. I can observe that around with my friends or with the people they sometimes came to see me. Uh, and or for example, in family constellation, last time there were a 19 years old girl. I was like, okay, this is so young. That's crazy. And she was, yeah, pretty conscious about herself. And one day as well, I, I um, I had a 19-year-old man that came for astrology interpretation. And I was like, okay, is it too young? And it was really fluid. It was really conscious. And so I can see that, young people are more and more conscious about themselves, and yeah, and they don't want to be part of the capitalist classical system right now. I can see that people are, yeah, have an appeal, but I'm not the only one that observes that, because I'm not representative of all the therapists, and thank God. But I know that some of other therapists thinks the same way, and this is why I'm optimistic about that, because I think when you have uh, yeah more, I think for me the key is consciousness, actually. uh, because when you're in like a automatic pilot life, you just like, okay, the planet is dying. It won't change if I'm buying organic food or if I'm getting rid of plastic bag. uh, and when you are more conscious about yourself, you are actually more conscious about the others and what's around you. And sometimes it starts by I mean the it's it can start about the conscious of the others and then yourself, or yourself and then the others. For me, it was first myself and then the others. But I guess for some people this is a different, you know, in the other sense. But yeah, so sometimes I'm very scared. Plus the Ukraine war in Europe right now, it's like crazy. Uh, in the supermarket, yeah, now I really pay attention on the price. Before I was like more chilled, and now I'm more careful, and I can see that now it's, yeah, the price are rising, but I'm like, okay, I still can buy food. I still can have a roof above my head, so I'm okay. But yeah, it's strange. Plus the mountain story I told you about. I went to
Mhm.
the mountain to see snow and to make some nice walks, but we won't had snow because of climate change. And we're like, okay, that's so weird. And like it's Christmas, and I don't need my huge coat, and that's weird. Small things now are visible, but all the changes. And this is scary, but thank God I have spirituality. I'm trying to connect with with something positive, but I know some people doesn't have that, and that, yeah, I think we can all have a contribution, and our responsibility is, okay, where can you contribute, you know where can you be to make society advance, evolve in a good way. Yeah.
Hmm. Wow. It's interesting. It's it's tricky.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky.
But oh, mm, I don't know what you think about this. Maybe this is the perfect time to, you know, from my perspective, like we always talk from our place, but uh, I don't know what you think. Modern society doesn't seem to be working for me right now. like uh, like the institutions, all the things. Like you mentioned the war, you mentioned climate change, you mentioned the prices in the supermarket. Those are like what society, we as a society had decided to build that reality.
Mm.
Uh, and yeah, I agree that it's not a great reality to be like it to be involved with, but at the same time, that opens the door to create a new one.
Yeah.
And as you
Exactly.
said, like young people, I think people who are younger than us are coming already with this idea of,
Yeah,
oh, okay, so
totally.
we need to build something new, right? Like, ah, okay, the sink is broken. Yeah, we're gonna have to fix that. Uh, I guess I guess only time will tell.
Yeah, exactly. But sometimes I am between fear of the small things that are changing, and I'm like, okay, uh, this is going to be very far, I guess. And sometimes I wonder, okay, when is the time of collapse? I think we will have collapse, like eh, we'll have a big revolution. And I'm like, how? How? We will have a maybe, I don't know, a civil war. I don't know. Like maybe people will get crazy and stealing food in the supermarket. And I mean that's okay, but I I I grown up in France, and it's a very, I mean, for some French, no, but for my point of view, it's a very stable country. Sometimes we have, yeah, um, um, some social movements, but I mean, that's just so little comparing to what's going on in the world or in other countries. It's like nothing.
It's like how French
Maybe,
spend
yeah,
the
this is
spare time. Let's
this is
protest about something. Sorry,
yeah,
just a joke.
yeah. This is our identity actually, but it's
Cool.
very
That's very
stable.
cool.
Yes, we had economic crisis, but we had a lot of social helps from the government. Yes, some people lost their jobs and some people were in big trouble, but we didn't got civil war. We didn't get crazy, crazy stuff and crazy inflation, for example. So I'm like, is this going to happen at some point?
Hmm.
Uh, uh, I grown up in a very stable country, so I'm not prepared to that. But I can see the world is changing, and I can see the society is getting crazy. And yeah, but maybe I won't be in that world when it will happen. Maybe I will be dead. But my children, my grandchildren, I don't know. Yeah, sometimes it came up to my mind, and I'm like, I don't know, trying to do my part.
You think you're not gonna live to see this new better world? I
I'm
hope I
not
do.
sure. Yeah, me too. Or maybe we will come back, reincarnation stuff.
Again. No,
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure, but I think so. But for now, I'm wondering if we are going to see the collapse, the big collapse of our society. I don't know,
Hmm.
but I'm not sure we will see the better world because I don't know. It looks so far.
Hmm.
I hope so.
Like I don't know if you allow me to share some thoughts on that. Uh, at last year, at the beginning of last year, I was thinking a lot about that topic. At the beginning of last year, you remember COVID and face mask and all of that. Um, I was really thinking about that. Like, shit, world is coming to an end. Like, this is it. This is how it ends. Boom. Like, when are the buildings start to come down and stuff? And because I was resonating on that, I met a lot of people who were on that same page. Not in a tragic way, but I met a lot of people who were eagering for that. It's like, yeah, so this shit is gonna end. Finally, we're like, finally, society is gonna collapse. We're gonna be able to build something new. And yeah, these were really alternative people that were living like really alternative lives. Um, And I've noticed that, and we were always constantly talking of this. Yeah, this is gonna end soon. Like we see it coming. It's soon. It's soon. But banks still there. The government is still there. Um, yeah, it doesn't look like it's going anywhere. And it's not that I was expecting for a huge global collapse in 1 year, but the way that my idea shift was maybe it's not the bank the one who has to collapse. Maybe it's not the government the one who has to collapse. Maybe it's my idea of the government, of the money, of the science, of everything that determines the way you act. And and then I thought, well, an idea is way easier to change than an institution that rules a country. Uh, and yet the impact is way more powerful because, for example, I live in Mexico. I know Mexican politics. They're not great. They've never been great. I know Mexican
Mm.
economy have never been great, but we're not that bad. But it's not a our look at Mexican economy there. It's But then I realized that is just an idea. That is just an idea. Because I look at around myself and I see, well, he's Mexican as me, but he has a great economy. What what then? Like maybe it was not about the government. Maybe it was not about the banks, the economical system, politics, religion, science. Maybe it's just the way that you use it. Maybe it's just the way you take advantage of that. And that idea took me to another journey of meeting other people who kind of think like that, like not trying to fix the world, not waiting for it to collapse, just taking distance and it's like, okay, how do I use this to create something better for me and my beloved ones? And and if you see that phenomena happening, uh, replicating a community, and maybe I'm optimistic. Maybe it's because of my star sign. Sorry, but
No.
I cannot
I will
help.
check.
Yeah, check it. I I cannot help the idea of thinking there's gonna be a time, not in the near future. Uh, uh, there's gonna be a time in the near future where these people who is taking control of their self and reality and economy and really empowering themselves and creating stuff, it's just gonna they're just gonna make a village. I'm pretty sure. Like uh, at some point they're all gonna meet. They're gonna have a great time in a bar somewhere in the Caribbean or so. Someone is gonna come up with a crazy idea of I see some piece of land that they're selling over there, and you're gonna have the first. Maybe it's already happening. Maybe I just wasn't invited to that bar, uh, but I'm pretty sure things are happening. Things are moving, and soon,
Mm. Locally.
yeah, at a local level because everything happens from small to big. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, you're
just
right.
universe. So yeah,
Change will. Mm.
maybe somewhere over there are already 5, 6 guys, dudes, families, who knows, creating a little community that in 10 years it's going to be in the newspapers and stuff like, yeah, this crazy people 10 years ago founded a new futuristic thing because they had Amazon and credit cards and all that we have, but they just decided to use them in a different way.
That's very interesting. I
And I
really
see it
like the way
possible.
you think. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, like it won't be the changes will come from the little, actually, and
Yeah,
the
and
pyramid will just become very flat without collapsing, just with yeah, spreading like.
and and maybe like elaborating more on that projection, if you as a government or as a financial institution or an evil power of the world order, you start seeing that society is changing, and you want to keep your benefits, you want to still be on power, you're gonna have to change as well.
Yeah.
So maybe, and I don't know. And when I was young, I really had this desire, this eager of seeing the world burn and the government falling down and banks like yeah. Now I'm just
Fuck
thinking
money.
maybe they're not gonna go really anywhere. Maybe at some point they're gonna realize as well that they have to change when they start seeing that their clients are changing, that the people that they're squeezing money out are changing. So the game has changed. So then they will have to adapt to that game to not disappear. And maybe they will just disappear because they were too focused on squeezing people and not in adapting.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, totally. I think, yeah. If they don't, I guess it will fall down. But if they do, is if everyone is changing on a consciousness level, maybe it will just the change will be, yeah, fluid and easy and smooth. But yeah, you're right. Why should we have the collapse picture in mind? Why?
It's a very cool
Well,
picture.
I think it's
Really
because
cinematic
of
picture.
yeah, but I think it's because of in the Bible, like you have the end of the world according to James, I guess. I'm not sure. And it's like they're describing a time where every everything went crazy and looks like the end of the world. People went crazy and this, yeah, evil came on Earth. Blah blah blah. Maybe that's why I have it in my mind, because of all the society intentions of that picture. Like the end of the world will happen, and then we could create another world. But should we go through the scary stuff? I don't know.
I'm a really pragmatic person, but I have a really
Mm,
pragmatic brain, and now I try
it
to use it.
depends.
Now I try to use it as in my advantage, and I thought one day like, okay, if we want to create a new world, do we really need to go back all the way to reinvent all the things that we already have, like computers? Like, yeah, some of these companies are horrible, but computers are good. Like, are we gonna throw that away just to create something new, more fair? Or it's easier just to transform the way they were already doing things? Like, for example, I think of these delivery companies that I'm not gonna brand anymore, but these online shopping things. Like logistically speaking, like in terms of what it's going on, it's a huge deal for humanity. Yeah, they're greedy and they're making money because they're companies, and that's the name of the game today. But in like money is just numbers. When you see like the reality, the things is somehow these guys figure out how to bring that thing that you want to to your front door in one day. That's huge. Now we just need to take the bad energy away, and boom, you got something really cool.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's a very interesting point of view. Like, where is the beauty of that shitty stuff? It's like you can see the beauty of that shitty system and, you know, not go, not, not throw out all the system and just keep the That's
Keep the best.
interesting. Yeah.
What's the other option? Going back to the jungle, build my own house
Well,
with sticks. I mean, yeah, it could be cool for a month or
it could be
so.
cool. Yeah, a month. Yeah. Not in winter.
Definitely not in winter.
Well, now
And
winter, in France. But yeah. Nice.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be. What does the audience think?
Yeah. Yeah. I think we could talk hours about that kind of subject, especially with your, you know, all your all the things you're figure out. That's very nice.
I really think, well, if you're ever available and it's something that you like, the doors of this podcast are open for you whenever you like.
Thank you. Thank you very
It
much.
would be really cool to elaborate more on these topics.
Yeah, totally. It was a great pleasure.
Yeah, it was an honor to have you.
Julito. Yeah, it was an honor to talk to you and to just give a little bit of my knowledge, my little knowledge.
You've had a lot of knowledge and a great personality. It's really cool to
Thanks.
have you in the podcast.
It was a great pleasure.
Okay.
Thank you, Julito, for
Thank you,
giving me the
Juju.
opportunity. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Maybe I just wasn't invited to that bar.